When the Vorx Expeditionary Science Fleet first reached Earth, the galactic community expected the usual report: another primitive species, another young world, another culture to catalog and leave undisturbed. For centuries, the Vorx had studied pre-FTL civilizations with a clinical calmness that bordered on detachment. Their first scans of Earth fit that pattern until they noticed the wolves dot to the Vorx. Apex predators were markers of a world's natural brutality. They'd evolved on a planet where the apex predator had gone extinct long before their civilization rose, leaving them with an instinctive caution toward any creature designed for pursuit, pack tactics, and killing. Wolves were exactly that. Yet humans lived with them. Not only lived with them, humans slept beside them, fed them, played with them, let them into their homes. Called them dogs. At first, the Vorx thought it was a translation error. The orbital linguists ran checks. The AI confirmed the data. The humans had taken their planet's lethal pursuit predator and domesticated it. This alone was disturbing, but what unsettled the Vorx far more was how completely the wolves had changed. Obedient, affectionate, tail-wagging companions. The Vorx ornithologists whispered across their channels with a horror normally reserved for battlefield autopsies. What kind of species, one asked, tames its natural predators? No one had an answer. So they sent an infiltration team down to the surface. The team chose a rural region, a place with large stretches of untamed land, old forests and wide fields, perfect for observing wolves in their natural state. Or so they believed. They found themselves in a human settlement called a farm, where a family lived with a creature the Vorx scanners identified as Canis lupus familiaris, a golden-furred dog, medium-sized, playful, and terrifying. It barked at them the moment they stepped near the property. Its vocalizations a mix of warning, territorial dominance, and threat display. The Vorx nearly retreated until they saw the human approach. A tall woman in simple work clothes placed her hand on the dog's head. "It's all right, Scout," she murmured. "They're just visitors." The dog relaxed instantly. The Vorx froze. Instant emotional obedience. No neural implants. No chemical conditioning. Just trust. The humans invited the aliens inside, unaware of the quiet horror accumulating in their visitors' minds. Over dinner, simple human food, heavy on warmth and shared conversation, the researchers carefully asked about the wolves. "Oh, dogs used to be wolves," the human woman explained casually. "Thousands of years ago, used to be?" The Vorx lead scientist repeated, unable to mask the tremor in his voice. "Sure, they were wild, dangerous, hunted in packs. People feared them." She took a drink and laughed lightly. "But humans slowly tamed them. They evolved alongside us. Now they're the most loyal animals you'll ever meet." "Loyal?" a Vorx biologist asked. "Absolutely. Humans raised them to be companions, friends. They protect us, work with us, and we protect them back." The Vorx group silently recorded every word. When they returned to their ship, the data analysts reviewed the footage. They saw the dog's complete submission to its human companion. They saw how a creature designed for killing had been reshaped into a cooperative ally. And they saw the human woman smile, a relaxed, confident smile that implied she had never once feared that the predator she kept in her home would harm her. A chilling thought spread through the fleet. If humans tame apex predators, what do they do to their enemies? The data security officer whispered, "If humans domesticated wolves, perhaps the wolves were the lucky ones." The Vorx Council ordered deeper investigation. They sent stealth drones to track wild wolves in remote ecosystems. The drones observed them for weeks, howling under the moon, stalking prey with uncanny coordination, teeth-like precision-forged knives. They watched packs bring down elk 5 times their size. They saw raw, primal power. And then they compared it to the domestic dog licking a child's face. If humans could turn that into this. The Vorx finally understood humanity was not a simple species. They were sculptors, engineers, behavioral architects. They saw potential where other species saw threats. Where the galaxy feared, humans adapted. Where others retreated, Humans reached out hands and built bridges or, when necessary, forged chains. This revelation spread like wildfire across the ship. A Vorix war historian pulled ancient human records. Videos of early hunters walking alongside wolves in icy tundras, both species shivering by the same fire. The historian trembled. Humans did not just defeat predators, he said. They recruited them. The galactic community had no precedent for such a civilization. Cooperation usually emerged among timid prey species that hid behind walls or fled at the first sign of danger. Predators were solitary, territorial. Driven by instinct, humans were both dot and neither, and something else entirely. When the Vorix finally revealed themselves to humanity, nervous, formal, and fragile, they expected caution. Maybe fear. Maybe aggression. What they found instead was an open smile, an outstretched hand, and a dog wagging its tail beside the human ambassador. The Vorix spokesperson tried not to stare at the dog's teeth. "We come in peace," he said shakily. "Good," the human replied warmly. "So do we. Humans mean no harm to friends." Friends? The Vorix delegation exchanged looks. That single word had altered civilizations before, but coming from a species who tamed wolves? It felt like both a promise and a warning. Later, when the Vorix filed their official report, it spread through the galactic community like a tremor. Humans domesticated their world's apex predators. They did so not through fear, but through cooperation, trust, and relentless determination. We recommend peaceful relations. Do not attempt hostility. A species that befriends wolves will not fear you. The galaxy took note. And far away on Earth, a human scratched the ears of their loyal dog, never knowing how deeply that simple act rippled through the stars, or how many empires whispered nervously at the thought. If humans ever chose to tame the galaxy, could anyone stop them?